Defining what exactly is an RPG can be a little tricky. While not all the games we'll be listing here are officially labeled with a tag of RPG, we didn't want to narrow down our views and included games in the list as long as it had some of the elements of role-playing.
This video is brought to you by Answerly, a question platform that pays you for adding high-quality answers on different questions. The users are rewarded in Answerly tokens, which they can easily convert into dollars or any other cryptocurrency by using one of the exchanges mentioned in the description.
Hello and welcome back to our YouTube channel. In today's video, we'll be talking about the 15 new upcoming RPG PS5 games. If you're new here, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to our channel, and hit that notification bell to get the updates whenever we post. Here are 15 in no particular order upcoming RPG PS5 games to watch out for. Let us begin with Relayer. Relayer takes place in the year 2049, where mankind has just met intelligent life, the Relayers. Furthermore, they have also discovered an ancient civilization known as the Star Children, who have granted humans unique powers. Fast forward to 2051, two young women cross paths in the colony of Artemis, located on the surface of the moon. This is where the adventure begins. Relayer will take players across the Milky Way. Humanity's existence is threatened by what is known as Relayers, but we have a way of fighting back the Star Children. Monarch. Monarch, a title taking inspiration from the popular franchises Shin Megami Tensei and Persona, is an RPG set in Shin Mikado Academy, a school campus surrounded by a barrier separating it from the rest of the outside world and linked to a mysterious realm known as the Other World. Players in the Monarch must fight back to defy the demons surrounding them. Fans of Shin Megami Tensei and Persona may both find something familiar in the way Monarch has been presented as of writing. Persona's school segments can feel like the slice of life, but with an atmosphere of palpable unease that never quite let go in or out of battle, much like classic Shin Megami Tensei. Vampire the Masquerade Swansong. Swansong is based on the tabletop RPG World of Darkness. Set in the city of Boston, the vampires have been hiding from humans, led by a vampire sect going by the name of Camarilla. With the goal of creating a safe haven for the vampires, the Camarilla have tried to unite the once rivalry factions of their race. Follow the stories of three vampires and investigate conspiracies in Boston following a shootout, starting with who ordered the attack and why. Strangers of Paradise Final Fantasy Origin. Strangers of Paradise is a pseudo-remake of the very first Final Fantasy. Set in the same but alternate world as the first Final Fantasy, the player takes on the role of the Warrior of Light, Jack Garland, whose goal is to kill chaos while in search of what it really means to be a Warrior of Light. Steel Rising. History buffs will likely squeal with joy with this one. Set on an alternate timeline based on the French Revolution of 1789, take the role of a mysterious automation and bodyguard of Queen Marie Antoinette named Aegis. Follow Aegis' story as he tries to help the helpless Parisians fighting for their lives while fighting against the dictator Louis XVI and his army of robots. Asterigos. The game's events unfold in Apes, a city-state inspired by ancient Rome and classical Greek designs, and is full of magic and wonder. From the mist-covered bazaar streets to gloomy sewers, the enigmatic forests of the city's outskirts to deep chasms full of glittering crystals, and landscapes of apes are full of beauty and dangers. Take on the role of Hilda, a Northern Legion warrior, as she looks for her lost father in the mystical city. Batora, Lost Haven. The journey will begin in Gridja, a desert planet that experiences reoccurring earthquakes, also known as Gridja quakes. Take on the role of a 16-year-old girl who was once a normal girl until she had awakened her powers after the Earth got devastated by a mysterious event. Follow her story as she treads on the thin line between good and evil. Dark Envoy. Dark Envoy emerges together a rich, non-linear story and tactical party-based combat with dynamic gameplay flow and high-quality visuals and effects, while blending modern concepts with classic genre tropes, creating a distinct and unique RPG gaming experience. Follow the tale of the siblings Malachi and Kaela, a pair of war orphans who were raised far away from a brewing conflict. Things have recently gotten worse, and now it's time for the two of them to embark on a journey fraught with peril and adventure. Earthlock 2. Earthlock 2 will be set in the same world as the first Earthlock, Umbra, a planet which has stopped spinning, causing one half of the Earth scorched by the sun and the other half shrouded in complete darkness, where only the center in which the two zones meet is the only place managing to enjoy the best of both worlds. Follow the story of a group of friends in their quest to search for their missing family members. Edge of Eternity. In a world torn asunder, the people of Harion pursue a desperate war against a mysterious invader. As this conflict opposing magic and technology grows to cataclysmic proportions, a new threat emerges from the battlefield. Head on to the battlefield as you follow the story of Darian and Celine in their quest to find a cure to the all-consuming corrosion and save the world of Harion. Grand Blue Fantasy Relink. Grand Blue Fantasy Relink is an action RPG adaptation of Cygames' massive mobile game Grand Blue Fantasy, was announced all the way back in 2016. In Grand Blue Fantasy Relink, you'll have to travel through different locations to reach the boss who must be defeated to move on to a new location. Presenting immense endgame content of great difficulty designed for teams composed of several players. One Lonely Outpost. One Lonely Outpost is a space farming sim similar to that of Stardew Valley, set on a barren alien planet. Grow your farm with it in a community and a new life, start a farming colony and grow it into a vibrant community. Choose from traditional animals and natural produce or opt for robo-cows and gene-spliced crops. You can take a break from farming by mining, socializing with colonists, finding a love interest, exploring alien ruins, and so much more. Salt and Sacrifice. Salt and Sacrifice is a 2D side-scroller that rips heavily off Dark Souls and is set in a Souls-like scene with its gothic, perilous world. Expanding on the world of the first game, Salt and Sanctuary creates a character whilst selecting one of the 8 classes and decide what sort of crime you've committed. Space Punks. Space Punks is a living, evolving online co-op action RPG space romp that will see you shooting and looting your way across the galaxy. Blaze a trail alone or team up with the 3 fellow intergalactic thieves to form a formidable fortune-hunting foursome. Lay siege to hordes of alien scumbags, harvest their loot, and tool up to take on bigger and more lucrative bosses. Strayblade. Strayblade is an action RPG where you play a rogue adventurer exploring the ancient valley of Acria with your companion Boji. Embark on an unforgettable journey and discover the story of Acria and its ancient legacy. Discover the whole history that turned the peaceful valley into a place of war and death. Use this knowledge while mastering the powers of the 3 Acrian metals to destroy the relics of the past and restore peace in the war-torn valley. The Last Ori Crew. The Last Ori Crew will place an emphasis on storytelling and player agency and choice. Take on the role of Silver, a man who crash-landed onto Wardania, suddenly wakes up from his cryogenically induced nap. His actions will have consequences for the entire planet of Wardania. The ongoing civil war for dominance over it will force players to choose a path, make allies and enemies, and determine who will come out on top. Undernaut's Labyrinth of Yomi. Undernaut's Labyrinth of Yomi is a grim and sublime dungeon crawler which really sells the idea of a desperate struggle for survival within a nightmare of ripped body parts and monsters straight from the textbook of the grotesque. You play as the leader of one particular party of these miners, and after the rest of their team gets devoured by a particularly loathsome monster in the opening moments, you form another team and head back out there. Well, there you have it, 15 upcoming PS5 RPG games that would take you to a new world. What do you think qualifies as an RPG? Is there any particular title in which you're looking forward to see a sequel to? Let us know your thoughts down in the comment section below.
If you like this video, make sure to smash the like button and subscribe to this channel. To learn more about Answerly and Answerly tokens, check out the links in the description.